All right, friends, we're going to make a landscape all about the book that we just read. So you can decide if you want your picture vertical, very tall, or horizontal. It's totally up to you. I'm going to make mine vertical, very tall, just because I want just a little bit of landscape down here and a lot of room for my snowflakes. So we're going to make a snowy landscape just like our book. And I'm going to start with a Sharpie. If I were you, I'd start with a pencil in case I mess up. I'm going to start with a Sharpie so that you can see what I'm doing. So the first thing I'm going to make is kind of a big snowy hill. You know, that was in the book. The snowflakes would fall down and the hill would be down here. And then I think I'm even going to make maybe a smaller hill over here. And maybe I'm gonna have a pond like behind the hill, like the pond's behind it and the hill's kind of covering up half of it. Just like in the book, we know that there was a house in the book. So I'm going to make a house right here. Your house does not have to look like mine. You do it your way. I'm going to make mine kind of a three-dimensional house. If you're little, like a first grader or a second grader, you do not have to do it this way. Maybe some trees. We know that evergreens stay green all year long. So maybe I want some evergreens here. This evergreen is in the front or the foreground, so it's kind of bigger. And if I draw an evergreen in the background, it's smaller because it's far away. We talked about perspective last time. Things that are far away are smaller, and things that are close up are bigger. I'm going to make kind of some hills here to cover up that mistake. Like the hills, like the snow's piling up on hills. Anything that we want to stay white, we leave white. We're not going to use a white crayon to color because it's not going to work out too good. Sometimes in the winter, we have trees that don't have any limbs, and they kind of look like this. So we can make some trees like that with no limbs, naked trees. Maybe I want a big naked tree in the front. Just make your lines go in every which way on your naked tree. It doesn't matter. I think I want one more naked tree back here. Naked trees are fun to make because you just keep making lines and lines and lines. And maybe another evergreen on this side. I'm going to make a chimney because it's going to be cold. And then in the book, there was a snowman. I think I might make the snowman sitting by the pond. Remember, this is your winter. This is your winter scene. You get to do it your own way. Once your winter scene is done, and remember you drew in a pencil, not a marker, we're going to talk about the snowflakes. The book was really about the snowflakes. This is all just extra. And if you really wanted to move all this down here and just make a little tiny scene, that's fine too, because these snowflakes are the star of the show. The book said the snowflakes had 6 sides. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's make one more line. 5, 6. So if you make a snowflake with 6 sides, it's an X and then one more line. You can make your one more line like that, or you can make your one more line like that. You can make small snowflakes, or you could make big snowflakes, totally up to you. Once you have the amount of snowflakes you want, we have to add little extra details to them. Here's one way to do a snowflake. You can connect them with lines like this, and then add lines to your snowflake. They kind of need to be symmetrical. Okay, notice I did line, line, dip, line, line, dip, line, line, dip. Okay, so they kind of have to look the same all the way around. Let's do another one. Maybe you don't want to connect them like this. Maybe you just want to do lines all around, and that's okay too. But whatever you do on one, you have to keep on doing to the others. On this one, I want to put a circle on the tips of all of them. And notice whatever I did to one, I had to do to all the others. So we're just going to decorate our snowflakes any way we want. But they have to look the same. And when you're done decorating your snowflakes, then it's time for crayons. I really hope you guys are doing your own snowflakes and you're not doing exactly what Miss Cunningham's doing, or you're not doing exactly my design down here. Listen, if it inspires you and you want to do it, by all means, do it. But surely you have your own ideas in that brain of yours. The snowflakes should take you the most time. You should be spending most of your time on the snowflakes, because remember, the snowflakes are the star of the show, just like the snowflake was the star of the book. And no two snowflakes are alike. Okay, now let's talk about adding color. Now, I mentioned that you needed crayons or colored pencils because the sky is going to be kind of an ombre, or it's going to blend in together. So here's how Miss Cunningham's going to do the sky. I'm going to start with whatever color I want to start with. Oh, by the way, if you drew in pencil, now is the time to get out your black marker and go back over your pencil. Okay, Miss Cunningham is not going to draw over pencil. You need to draw over marker. So if you did yours in pencil, like I told you probably should, now it's time to trace it in marker. So go ahead and push pause and trace all your pencil in marker like I did. After you do your marker, then you can start to color. So I'm going to start up here, and this is why we don't want to use marker for this, because it'll cover up the snowflakes. We don't want to cover up the snowflakes. And now I could take my teal, since I love teal, and I could color the whole sky teal. But it's more interesting to look at if I blend it with different colors. So I'm going to take my blue and I'm going to color over that. I can color right over my snowflakes. It's not going to cover them up because it's in marker. Now, remember I said whatever we want to keep white, we're gonna not color it because the paper's white. So I actually want to keep this smoke white. So I'm gonna not color over it. I'm gonna color around my smoke so my smoke stays white. Do you have to use the same colors I'm using? No. You can do it your own way. And since my naked trees don't have leaves, I can color right over those too, just like I'm doing my snowflakes. I shouldn't color over my house. See how I'm stopping? And I shouldn't color over my evergreens because they're green. Evergreens are like pine trees and Christmas trees. Those are evergreens. So I'm going to not color over those because those need to be green. And my sky is almost done. Now this down here is the snow, so that's going to stay white. I don't need to color that white. There's no sense in coloring snow white when our paper's white. I'm getting a little purple on my evergreen. That's all right. Okay, now my sky is done. If you want to, now this is just extra, I pressed sort of light with my crayons. If you want to go back on your snowflakes and press hard with the crayon, then it kind of makes that snowflake pop out a little bit more. You don't have to do this. I prefer to do this because it just looks nicer and it makes the snowflake pop. Okay, so if you want to add a little color to our snowflakes, you can go back over it. Now, are snowflakes purple and teal and blue? No. Wouldn't that be so cool if they were? I think more people would want to live in snowy weather. I know I would. I lived in snowy weather for a while, and it was not fun. Too cold for Miss Cunningham. I know it feels cold outside today, doesn't it? Brr, this is too cold for me. All right, so I'm not gonna trace over all my snowflakes, just a few, just to give a few of them a little pop. Now let's talk about our landscape. Now the evergreens can stay green, but I want the top of my evergreen to stay white because the snow falls and the evergreen leaves catch the snow. So I'm going to leave the top of my evergreen white. See that? And I'm going to leave the top of this evergreen white too. Like it just has a little bit of snow catching the tip. This one is going to have more snow because it's up front and you can see it more. So the top is going to have some snow and then the sides will have some snow. Lots of snow on this evergreen because it's closer to us so we can see how much snow's on that one. And then I'm going to do my snowman's scarf red and maybe his hat red too because everybody wants a little pop of red. You know what? I think my house will be red too. I'm pressing hard around the edge of my house, and then on the inside of my house, I'm going to press lightly. And that'll just give my house a little bit of interest. I wish I had a brown. I don't have brown. If I had a brown, I would color these trunks brown and I would color my door brown. So next time I see you, which is tomorrow, I'll have a brown and I'll color those brown. On the edge of my pond, I'm going to put some swirly lines in here like somebody's been skating. And then I'm going to color it lightly. So if you press hard on the outside like I did the house, or press hard for the details, and then color lightly with your crayon. That just gives your art piece just a little bit more interest, don't you think? Maybe I'll color the door teal. And he needs some buttons. All right, friends, so this is our snowflake masterpiece. I can't wait to see yours.